Okay, so I've shown you how to add a user execute permissions. Let's say you want to modify so that the group has execute permissions. So change modify, which would be a chmod, and we do g plus x and then test.2.txt. So now if I do an ls-l, you can see that it added right here the execute permission where it was not there before, right there. Now I can do several people at once. So let's say I want to do chmod and then a for all minus read. Now if I do an ls-l, you can see it removed everybody's read permissions. And the world, all they had before was read permissions, so now they got nothing. Now if I want to give them execute permissions, then I can do change modify chmod o plus x, o for other plus x for execute, and then do an ls-l, and now they have execute permission. Now there's a much easier way to do this. So let me open up a text editor. So basically there are three permissions. There's read, write, and execute for the person that owns the file. Read, write, execute for the group that owns the file. And read, write, execute for everybody else. Now, let's say for example I want to give the owner read, write, and execute. I want to give the group read and execute, and I want to give the world just write permission. Now if I put a 1 wherever there is a permission and a 0 where there's not a permission, or a dash, what I'm going to come up with is 111, 101, 010. You can take these numbers and convert them to binary. The number 111 in binary is 7 in decimal. The number 101 in binary is 5 in decimal. And the number 010 in binary is 2 in decimal. So I can actually chmod 752 test2.txt and do an ls-l, and you can see it gave read, write, execute right there, read and execute, and write only, which is what we were going for. So the binary version is a lot easier to do than typing in letters, although you can complicate it more. Chmod and then group plus read, comma, other plus execute, comma, test.2.txt. And if I do an ls-l, you can see it modified, gave group read, and so I can apply multiples at once, but honestly it's much easier just to do the octal permissions. So let me clear the screen. Now there's another permission that you should know about. It's called chown, and it's kind of like chmod. Chmod will change modify permissions. Chown will change ownership. So I've got the file test2.txt. I can do a chown and then root for the user, and then technological group test2.txt. It won't let me. I have to do it as super user. So su, and then I need to put in super user's password. Now you can see that I was logged in as technological, but now I'm logged in as root. So now I can chown root colon technological test2.txt. And if I do an ls-l, you can see that it's currently owned by root and the group technological. Now there's a better way of doing it than logging in as root. I can actually do su-c, which means run one command as administrator, and then chown technological colon technological and then test2.txt, and close my quotes. And it wants to know the root's password, so I'll put it in there. And then if I do an ls-l, you can see it chowned it back to technological. So you can use su-c to run a command one time as one command is root. In Ubuntu, you don't get that option. In Ubuntu, you use sudo, super user do, and then you put in the command that you want it to do. And the quotes aren't exactly necessary here, but if you have any spaces in like the name of the file or the folder or whatever it is you're trying to modify, then no, wait, the quotes are actually necessary. The quotes are necessary, so ignore that. In Linux, in Ubuntu, you're actually going to do sudo, and then you won't need the quotes. And I can also sudo in Fedora, but I'm not a member of the sudoers, so that's not going to work. So I'd have to modify the sudoers file, which is a little complex and not really worth it. So just do su-c. So let me clear the screen. Alright, so I'm going to pause the video here and we'll pick it up on the next part.